So today's experiment is called Make a Structure, and as the name suggests, we're going to be using materials from all of our previous experiments to build a structure. And there are a few concepts related to this experiment. And first of all, we're going to talk about the strength of a triangle. So the reason why triangles are so widely used in architectural projects like buildings or monuments to make them stronger is because of the fact that the corner angles of a triangle cannot change without an accompanying change in the length of the edge. So this basically means that you can't change the angle or the shape of a triangle without stretching or compressing the edges of a triangle. And this fact is very useful for architects because bending a piece of metal is very easy, but compressing it or stretching it requires a lot of force. So therefore it makes the structure really strong. So another concept and principle that we're going to talk about when building a structure is the relationship between strength and height. So when designing and planning out a structure, whether it be a skyscraper for an architect or even something as simple as you have to take into account whether you want the structure to be a strong one or a tall one. And having both characteristics is incredibly hard. For example, you rarely ever see skyscrapers that are very sturdy and bulky, but you can see you can see like bunkers, right? They're very short and stout, I guess, but they're also very strong. So now that we've talked about these concepts about how you should what you should be thinking about when designing your structure, let's get into the experiment. So for this experiment, you're gonna need this bundle of skewers that is going to be found in your box, and it is held together by 5 rubber bands, which you can also use in your structure. And also in your box, you will find 5 of these packing peanuts, which are very useful in holding together these skewers. So although there is really not a set instruction to how you can build your structure, here's an example of a structure that I built just now that I took into account whether I wanted it to be strong or tall, and I balanced it out correctly so that it would stand by itself without collapsing while also having a considerable height. And so as you can see, I used packing peanuts, rubber bands, skewers, and also a cup for my structure. And as we talked about, I took advantage of the strength of triangles to make the structure as sturdy as possible while also having height, which is what you ultimately want.